Hey guys, welcome. Welcome aboard. If you happen to be brand new, welcome back. If you're not, welcome home, if that sits perfectly for you. Today, here's what we're going to do. We are going to do a reading about what change or changes are coming in for you. Instead of crystals, I'm going to grab a card from the Wild Unknown Spirit Animal deck and see if that can give you a little bit of insight. If you already know where your interests lie, if you're already feeling an intuitive pull to any of these, please feel free to go ahead and hit that timestamp. If not, if you'd like to choose with the oracles, go right ahead and give me just a minute here. And as always, we will shuffle together, grab our oracle decks, our oracle piles. We'll see if we have any general messages and go from there. So, pile number one. Ooh, you have the Stingray. That's very exciting. Pile number two. You have the Beaver. Pile number three. Oh, the Dragon. Okay, so Stingray, Beaver, Dragon. If you feel drawn to one or more of these piles, you can go ahead and hit your timestamps. If you want to stay and be part of shuffling and any kind of general message, we will do that in just a moment. I'm going to let you sit with these, and I'll either see in a second or in your reading. All right, let's grab our oracle cards, shall we? I hope y'all are doing well. Here are the things that I definitely want to talk about. This is an intuitive kind of thing. Your intuition is your best and brightest gift from the universe. So please make sure that you are allowing the piles to choose you, right? You don't want to push anything or force it. You want to make sure that you just let that pile say, yep, today this is your message. And even at that point, the key is that it's also necessary to make sure that you're letting your intuition keep doing its job. And if the messages aren't resonant, then you have to assume that it is not your message, right? And that's okay. It's okay if it's not your message. Check a different pile, right? Check a different pick a card reading. There's plenty of messaging to be had. Today we're specifically talking about what is coming in for you as change. What areas of your life are being called for as change or to change? What kind of change are you calling in? Whoa, hey. All right, we have one of our general messages, balance. Okay, so this is a beautiful message. We're talking about change in this reading. And so if we're talking about change as balance, the important thing to remember is that change is simply the choosing to be in flow, right? In any moment of change, where you are is the balance point. And what's happening around you is a thing that you can either flow with or resist. Your nature, though, is change, right? It's not an option, right? Change is not an option. Change is a requirement in our very natures. And so all of the things that happen in our lives either choose us as vessels for and witnesses to change, or they choose us as resistance points. And so either way we get a lesson, right? Either way we get a lesson. The key is to witness yourself as balance here, as balance. So these are our piles today. And what I'd like you to do is to just sit with these. See how they feel to you. Choose from one or more. You can listen to all of them if you'd like. That's entirely up to you. At any rate, just allow that pile to choose you, right? And I will see you in your reading. All right. Hey, those of you who chose pile number 1. All right, sorry, I'm having some excitement with a couple of deer in my backyard. So if that means anything to you, please feel free to take that as a sign. At any rate, let's get into your messages. You have chosen the Stingray card today. So the Stingray card is a water card, right? So this is all about emotions. The Stingray also has the infusion of spine, right? So this is about personal power. It's kind of a pivot point card. This is the point where confidence has to meet reality in order to facilitate your growth, right? In order to get you out of old habits, old familiar patterns, old ruts, let's say, old ruts, and into something new, right? A new place, a new motion, a new opportunity, those kinds of things. And this is literally directly related to your personal power. Sometimes there can be complications that we run into when we're talking about the Stingray card. You know, they glide through the water. It's so easy. And so sometimes you have to find that new place, that new way to move. And moving out of the familiar can be challenging, right? This is something that will surface again and again and again and again until you recognize and break the pattern. So this is implicit when it comes to a shift or a change. And that's what we're talking about, right? Oh, interesting. You've also come up with the first house card. So first house is about, this is the house of self, right? This is appearance. This is what you put into the world. Kind of your leading edge, right? Your appearance, your first impressions. This is whether or not your, I don't want to necessarily say appearance, but the way that you show up, whether this is meeting your expectations or not. This is, right? This is a brilliant dovetail here. You have the door to value. Interesting. This is, again, this is all about beginnings, new opportunities, the places where you're called into expansion, the places where you're excited about shifting or changing, those kinds of things. Open doors, right? So this is really talking about yourself and the way that you are, wow, the way that you're called to present yourself in the world, right? That's beautiful. Beautiful. Right. So this is an opportunity to change in terms of yourself, your selfness, the way that you show up, what it is that you're doing, and how you feel about what you're doing. Your presentation, right? So this is about a change in your self. Absolutely. So what to change in here? Pile number 1. Let's see. Oh, you have the star. So something has been going on for you. You're coming out of a phase that felt like destruction. That might be just an idea that it felt like destruction, but it sure felt like it, right? It was, yeah, well, no, it definitely felt like destruction. And for that, I'm sorry. And I think it took a long time to move through for you. Nobody likes it. Nobody likes it when that kind of thing sticks around. But you are definitely moving into something that's amazing. So whatever kind of shift or change you're moving out of is really kind of going to determine what it is that you're moving into. Wow. Dang, pile number 1. Here's what I know. what has been going on is going to shift and change, and it's sure going to feel amazing as you move out of it. It might have been a lot. It might have felt like it was never going to end. It might have felt like that thing that I like to say, me walking through broken glass on fire. And it really felt like it took forever to get out of. And sometimes when we're coming out of that kind of change, it's hard to shed your skin and really step into that next place, that next phase, that next way of being, because sometimes you don't know what it's supposed to feel like, right? You're not sure. But here's what I want you to know. You have plenty of motion on your side. You have legacy and the future. This is a cosmic blessing time for you. So what's changing is your, I want to say your self-perception, your self-awareness, whatever it is that you're leaving behind. It's 100% something that, it was a phase that was necessary for you to go through, and you have learned a lot. Let's start there. You've learned a lot. I don't think that the experience was no, I can tell you right now, the experience wasn't always pleasant. But what has to happen right now is that you have to move past what happened, past how you got where you got, and step into the next phase, right? The next phase. So what's happening is that your anxiety is going to quell. And as you put this new face on, like, this is really what I'm getting at. I think that you're being asked to kind of focus on an as if, right? Acting as if, yeah. I struggle, and I know a lot of people struggle with the concept of fake it till you make it. But here's the deal. Again, we're talking about change. If you're dealing with change, if you're moving from one way of being to another way of being, there has to be that bridge point, right, where you do choose as if, right, where you choose in this moment, I'm going to claim my power, and I'm going to witness what it is that I want, right? Does this image, do these experiences meet with my expectation? And if not, you have the power to shift and change them simply by the way that you approach them. And so what is changing for you is your approach. What is changing for you is the way that you show up and the way that you show out. What it is that you're going to show the world is that you're ready for this change to come, that you have had enough experience and you've gathered enough data. And all that is left is for you to shift and change the self of you. You have that elemental power. Now, I'm not saying that you didn't go through a lot to get where you are right now. You did. You did. It probably has been challenging at best. And it has, again, felt like an eternal cycle of, oh my gosh, when is things going to change? Oh my gosh, when are things going to lighten up? Oh my goodness, when is the next step going to get here, right? I'm ready to level up. I'm ready to level up. I'm ready to level up. Well, here's what I can tell you. If you were ready to level up before now, you would have leveled up before now. And now is the time, right? You've made the choices that are leading you to this next phase. And I don't think that it was simple. I don't think that it was easy. But your perseverance has gotten you this far. And what is changing for you, or what changes are coming in, are this core self-change, right? This idea that you can do it, that you can make the right choices, that you have all of the resources, that you know how to put the past behind you, right? This is super important, that you know how to put the past behind you and close the doors that need to be closed and move into that next phase, even if it means moving away from things that are old and familiar, stepping into a place where it's not necessarily comfortable. And do you know why? Because you've been managing to deal with this discomfort in beautiful ways. You've persevered. You've moved through it. And so what's happening is that as you move into this next phase, you're ready because you know how to manage what is uncomfortable. Not that the phase will be uncomfortable, but that the transition, because sometimes transitions are uncomfortable. The way to ease that transition, though, here we go, is to just look forward and to stop trying to drag the past in. Recognize it as a new page, a new chapter, a new story, a new narrative, right? New vitality, first house, door to value, Stingray. These are all saying, be here in the present, not anywhere in the past. All we're bringing forth from the past are the lessons, not the baggage. Can you manage that, pile number one? I think you can. I like it. I like it. Hit like, hit subscribe. Come back, let me know how this goes for you. I know that this motion might not be simple, but I do want to assure you that you've got this. Okay, pile number one, you can do it. Thanks for being here. Big blessings. Take care, and I'll see you next time. Okay, my pile number twos. Those of you who chose the Beaver. So this is a water card as well. So this is about emotions, right? The Beaver card is hardworking, it's loyal, it's family first. It is devotion, right? It's tireless devotion. And that's okay. It also asks you, are there places in your life where you are giving too much? Because that's a real thing. Interesting. So you have conjunction. This is beautiful. This is again about relationships. This again is about, here's the thing. When you're in conjunction, you are a co-conspirator. You're an alliance, right? And so you're either guarding your energy and forming a strong partnership, or you are not guarding your energy and you're giving too much. So these are things that you need to pay attention to. You have journey, which is exactly as it sounds. This is about change. This is about going places, right? So depending on how we want to witness that. And then you also have shine, right? Beautiful. So that shine is about power. It's about belief. It is about breakthroughs and enthusiasm and trust and attraction, right? So this is again about the way you are allowing your energy to be in strength. And so how are you doing that, right? Are you doing it strongly enough, right? Are you rooted enough so that no matter what changes are coming, you understand that you are always, the gatekeeper of that change. Okay. 8 of Cups, 5 of Cups. You are. Let's think about that, right? Okay. Wow. Okay, so pile number 2. Here's the deal. You have been very steadfast in a situation. And what you're being asked to do is examine your motivations. Are you being seen in the relationships in your life? Or is it time to shift something and go it alone for a while? Yeah. Okay, we're going to do both. Thank you. Thank you very much. Okay. So, wow. Okay, so you have been, I'm going to say it, eclipsed for a while. This is a dynamic that is inherently codependent and narcissistic, right? And let's be real, I'm not a label person. We're all narcissistic to some degree. We're all codependent to some degree. But you specifically have a relationship or relationships in your life. You have a pattern where you have not been standing up. Yeah, for yourself, for your boundaries, for your values. You've been allowing someone else to set the tone for your relationship, to move you, as the case may be, where they wanted to move you, as opposed to where you feel like you should be moving, and you feel eclipsed. And the thing for that is there's only one way. Oh, yeah. So this is about claiming your own power. And here's the thing. You are super powerful. You are a loyal and devoted human being. And you have options. And don't let anybody fool you into believing that you don't, because you do. Yeah. So it is time to reevaluate where you are in this relationship or in the relationships in your life. The change that's coming is about your own value, right? The thing is, once you learn your own value, you cannot sit still for relationships where you're taken advantage of. It's not possible, right? Even relationships with those you love, even those you love to distraction, right? Children, lovers, family members, people who are really important to you. There comes a point in everyone's life, if you're in a relationship where you're being taken advantage of, where you have to put up a hand and say, no. And that has to be regardless of the circumstances, right? Because if you're being taken advantage of, it's time to shift. And here's the thing. People who truly love you will try their best to their fullest capacity to witness you in your change, to witness you in your boundary, to witness you in your needs, right? All I can say is this. When you have to hold your ground, when you look at what's happening in your relationships and you say, this isn't working for me, and you share that with the people in your life, one of two things can happen. They will say, well, too bad, I don't have it in me to give that. Or, oh my goodness, thank you so much for sharing that with me. Let's try to create something that's more comfortable for you. It's not always that the person doesn't love you if they can't meet your needs. It simply might mean that they don't have the ability or the level of healedness to create the space that you require. So taking it personally there is that's your choice, right? But so often when we're in that narcissist codependent dynamic, what happens is we're dealing with someone in their unhealed state. They're not intentionally being terrible. They don't know how to help themselves. They don't know how to act in any other capacity. You get to say, that's not okay with me. Right? You do get to say that's not okay with me. But up until the point you're ready to claim your power and do that, and to say, no, that's not going to work for me. I have to shift and change my perspective. And if you can't shift and change with me, then we don't have a future here. Until you're ready to do that, you are engaging, right? You're engaging. And codependents are just as unhealed in their inability to set a boundary as a narcissist is to overstep it, right? So your change is to become aware of those places where you're not shining and create the space in which that you may shine, right? In this beautiful, hello. The word I want is Page of Wands. My goodness, that was painful. Is he a page or is he a knight? No, he's a page. Page of Wands, right? So a new way of claiming your light, a new way of shining is what you're looking at. Not being, not choosing to be eclipsed, right? Not choosing to spend loyalty in places where it's not reciprocated, right? And if that means that you have to go somewhere, well, then you have to go somewhere. You have several cards that indicate that that's the case. even if going somewhere simply means I'm claiming myself, right? I don't require this relationship in order to be worthy. I'm worthy all by myself, right? You know that. You have the key. It's shown here over and over again. So however you're going to claim that shine, please claim that shine and don't be backwards about it, right? You deserve someone who witnesses you in your fullness. First and foremost, that person has to be you. All right, pile number 2. That is a beautiful shift and change. Hit like, hit subscribe, come back, let me know how this goes. And if this is where we part, please be blessed. If not, I'll see you in just a second. Hello, pile number 3. Let's get in here. You started off with the dragon. This is lovely, right? So the dragon is your truest self. Your truest self. It's the place where you balance your ego, right? Think breath, think fire, think vision, and the power of the observation, right? The eye of the dragon. This is that place from which you find your own inner fire, right? Lovely, absolutely lovely. Ooh. All right, you second in with the North Node. That's fun. That's the future, right? This is the place where your soul longs to be, your highest and best self, your highest expression possible in this lifetime, what you came here to do, right? Your mission. This is about answering your soul's call and really witnessing where you feel called to be outside of time, right? Outside of time. This is very mythic for you. Nice. Share the love. Okay, so this is nice. This is about community, joy and friendship, right? This is about support, and how you allow and also give that support, right? Where you fit into that sense of mission. Interesting. And then you end with the thinking man. So this is about thoughtfulness and being reflective, where you tune in a fine way, right? Kind of that, oh gosh, what's it called? Well, it's fine-tuning, right? It's fine-tuning. It's the way that you learn, both personally and professionally. So the way that you step in to the details of what it is that you're learning about or trying to experience. So this is that observation self, really close up. So that's quite exciting, right? The where it is that you're looking as you seek what it is that's being called to shift or change in your life. Since that's what we're looking for, how are you really calling your highest self into action, right? This specifically is not a romantic card. We talk about share the love, but this really doesn't have anything to do with romance. In this situation, it very specifically asks you to look at the way that you're part of community, the way that you're in service, which really rolls with the rest of these cards. Mostly because what it asks you to do is really exercise your powers of unconditional love. And the thing is, anyone, not just you, by the way, anyone can only manage that as deeply as they have managed themselves. Oh, look, see, these are twins. Yeah, so you get with the Six of Cups, the Nine of Pentacles, the Knight of Swords, the Queen of Pentacles, the Nine of Cups, the Three of Pentacles, the Eight of Cups, and hold on, we gotta let the last one, there we go, show up. Oh, and the Five of Cups. Okay, so let's talk about this first pass through here. We're talking about you becoming self-sufficient, you moving away from anything that seeks to hold you back in terms of regret or your past, I'm going to call them missed takes, right? The places that you haven't perhaps shown up in the way that you wanted to show up. And here's the deal. You have to let those things go, and you have to let them go with as much love and devotion as you chose the lesson, right? So if something happened in your experience and you hold on to it, you're preventing yourself from moving into the awareness of that next phase, right? And it's definitely time to move on. It's definitely time to move away from the things that are holding you back, from that, let's call it, I just want to call it that sense of regret or misfocus, right? Five of Cups absolutely talks about where you're looking in the wrong direction. And just as a little hint, backwards is always the wrong direction, right? There's a speed at which you're choosing to move here. Look at that. Look at that. So again, we're talking about the way that you end up being met is exactly the way that you have met yourself. Moving away from things rather quickly, actually. This will move fast once you make the decision, because there's no other way. There's no other way that it can hold you. You have the Six of Cups, the Six of Pentacles, and the Six of Swords asking you to be willing to move, right? Be willing to move. You have enough around you that will support you and hold you while you're on the way. And you also have this Nine of Cups and this Nine of Pentacles. All of these things, these mission statements, right? The way that you're choosing to show up in the world, you're fully supported, right? You have every opportunity, 100%. It's being handed to you. It's being handed to you here. If you choose to look away from your highest and best, you can do that. I would ask you why you would make that choice, to really be clear on why you would want to make a choice like that when you have so many other options available to you, especially these that are going to be your long term, like that long angling trajectory. You have the opportunity to lean in to your most healed self, to your self in flow, right? All that's required. I know I say that and you go, Eileen, you say it like it's easy. I know it's not. I know it's not. But I also know that looking forward with this filter of all the things that are wrong and ignoring these cups that are behind you, these full cups that are behind you, is also wrong, right? And I'm wrong, right? Because you're going to look there until it's time for you to move forward. You're going to look there until there's something that shifts and changes your view to be elevated so that you can move away. If you're mired in it, you're mired in it, right? If it hurts, it hurts. And you're not ready. You're not ready to make that choice. But I do, I'm going to hold space for your highest and best, right? Because it's coming out in many places here. This highest and best self, this most elevated self, this self-sufficient self, this self-chosen self, your sovereign self is waiting. And it will wait as long as it's required to wait. But I will also urge you to do the work to move forward. Right? You can do it. And here's the thing. You have this Eight of Cups and this Eight of Wands. It could be as quick and easy as, I'm not going to do that anymore. I'm done with that. I'm going to observe it in a different way. I'm going to fine tune, and then I no longer need to look back at this stuff, right? I don't have to look at these spills. I can fill all my cups because they've always all been filled, right? That's the thing. That's the thing. And then I'm going to move forward in this new energy, in this strength, in this focus, in this fully resourced state that you're always, always, always in. The only difference is, do you know it? Do you claim it? Do you see it? Right? Am I balancing out my experience that taught me with the capacity I know is there? Your change is your own perspective. Your change is to fine tune into the state where you say, oh, yeah, I'm claiming all of these things. I'm claiming all these things that hurt me as my victories. I'm claiming all of these things that didn't go right. We see the air quoting, that didn't go right as fuel. And I know that I'm going to be propelled exactly where I need to go, because it can be no other way, right? It can be no other way. You always have community around you. You always have support. So this time in your life right now, what you're changing is your own perspective. You're changing your perspective on the why of things. Why did things happen this way? Why am I here? Why did that happen? Why blah, blah, blah. What you're learning to do is let go of the why and just be in the here, right? What's the lesson? That was then, and this is now, and this is where I'm going, right? This is where I'm going, and I'm going now. I'm going now, right? This isn't a labored shift or change. So if you're ready, if you believe that you're ready to move into your highest and best, there's nothing stopping you right now. Pile number 3. Woo! I like it. I like it a lot. I want you to just dive in to that shift and change and be okay with it, right? And it will change your future. It will change your mission. It will change your trajectory. It will change the way you look at your life and the way that you look at all the rest of the world around you, right? Big things are coming. Don't doubt it. Don't doubt it. And when your wishes come true, when you get those things that you've been wishing for, right, that you've been putting out there as manifestation, instead of just saying, wow, this is amazing, first of all, steep yourself in gratitude, right? ACEs require gratitude. Yes, please, putting them into action, and then absolutely gratitude and motion, right? Motion is necessary, but also be willing to be all the way in it, right? Not halfway in it, not, oh, that would be nice. No, be all the way in it, right? Dive in, dive in, dive in. Face first. Face first. This is your future. Share the love. You got it. All right, pile number 3, big, giant blessings. I hope that this feels good for you. Hit like, hit subscribe, come back, let me know how it goes. And until then, be super duper blessed, right? Take care.